Dear colleague, the case that we present today about a fetus with the cleft side of the upper lip, single umbilical artery and heart disease complex, which was framed as a double outlet right ventricle. The diagnosis hypothesized was very complex. In these images, look at the side of the cleft upper lip, which measures 3.4 millimeters in width and 6 millimeters in length. We begin the study of the heart. The first point that we highlight is the situs, which is solitus. Look at the section of the four chambers with the regular septum 1 and septum 2 and the pulmonary veins that lead into the left atrium regularly. Adjust the foramen ovale, atrial septal adjust, and even the atrioventricular valves are regular. Observed in these images, the operator repeatedly tries to highlight the long axis of the left, several times without seeing it emerge. Have noted in section of the four chambers a little septal defect with biometry of 2.1 millimeters. See how the operator will continue to seek the long axis of the left, even with the help of E-flow. And with the help of E-flow, you look at this picture, where both long axes seem to emerge from the right ventricle. From these images begins our suspected diagnosis of double outlet right ventricle. See how from these images the feeling that the two long axes leave the right ventricle is real. This will be further strengthened our hypothesis that we will see from the pictures. Again, thanks to color Doppler, we observe the presence in the section of the four chambers of ventricular septal defect. Look, we performing profiles of a mitral valve, flow meters, and the tricuspid valve. Look at the second point. Single umbilical artery is observed in the scanning of the bladder due to color Doppler and in the transverse scan of the umbilical cord where you see only two vessels. These images make clear once again our diagnostic hypothesis. I remind you that the double outlet right ventricle is a rare congenital heart disease characterized by the emergence of the aorta, or most of it, and the pulmonary artery from the right ventricle. It has an incidence of 3 in 100,000 birds and is highlight polymorphic disease in relation to the ventricular septal defect and the course of the great vessels. Here again observe to the 2 great arteries arise from the right ventricle. The diagnosis of this condition is performed looking at the images on the scans of the long axis. In fact, double outlet right ventricle shows no signs of suspicion in the 4 chambers. In the long axis of the scanning, it shows the common origin of the great vessels from the right ventricle. Take another look at the ventricular septal defect with the filling of the left ventricle through the defect. Watch the latest images and thank you for your attention.